Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and happy Saturday morning to you all. Now, if you enjoy watching a middle-aged man sat on the edge of his bed talking about Mounjaro and weight loss, you are definitely in the right place. So Saturdays, as always, is a Q&A session. All the questions you've sent in, I'll try my best to answer them. Bearing in mind, I'm not a medical expert, no medical training. I'm purely sharing my experiences and my knowledge that I've gained in the last 5.5 months. Once we've done the Q&As, we've gone to my weekly update and I've got some exciting news as always. And this week, could it be a loss? Could there be a loss on the cards? We're going to have to wait and see, because we're going to get straight into the questions now. And the first one this week is from Linda Scanlon 2638. And her question is, when do you buy new clothes? If I buy new clothes and lose more, I still have £20 to go, then I've wasted money. But the clothes I have now are too big. Do you save your fat clothes just in case you gain weight? That's a really great question, Linda, and I did talk about it in my 3-month update back along. I buy new clothes when I need new clothes. I've spent long enough in my life wearing clothes that don't fit me, or clothes that I'm hiding behind big old hoodies, so I don't look such a big chubster. So I love buying clothes. I've always enjoyed buying clothes, but I've not been able to buy the clothes that I want to buy. I enjoy buying the makes that I couldn't previously get in my size. So, brutally honest with you, Linda, I buy clothes all the time now. If I need clothes, I buy them. If eventually, and it has happened where I've bought new clothes and they become too big again, I'm not going to lose any sleep over that, because part of this journey for me on Mounjaro is about looking better and feeling better. And if I'm honest, if I'm wearing clothes that are too big for me, I'm not going to look better and I'm not going to feel better. As for my fat clothes, I'd get rid of them all. And I think that's a little bit towards me thinking, if I keep them, am I keeping them as a bit of a safety net? So part and parcel of my journey is get rid of the fat clothes, because guess what? Never going to need them again. Right, next question, and I have had a question off this person before actually. So it's Bella Diallo 8126. Hello, have you been monitoring your pancreas health, like checking your lipase and amylase levels? Brutally honest, as always. It's kind of the tagline on my channel. Never going to gloss over anything, never going to lie about anything, always going to be brutally honest. Bella, no I don't. I'll be honest with you, I have no idea really what that even means. I feel like maybe I should know. I feel like maybe I should be checking these, but I'm sort of thinking that if it was something I needed to check, then the people that prescribe my medication would let me know that maybe. But no, I don't do any of that. If you can get back to me, Bella, and let me know why I should be doing it, and if I don't do it, is it bad news? That would be amazing. So if you could leave a little comment down below and just give me an update on it really. But as it stands at the minute, the only thing I check is my weight. So the next question is DAFC Jim, and he basically he just says how much he loves the channel and that kind of thing, and what an inspiration I am and that sort of stuff. But no, he does say that, but and I really appreciate it. Your kindness and your comments are absolutely fantastic. But the actual question is, listening to your videos, you seem to be eating well and changing your diet. Do you think you could have done this without Mounjaro? That's an amazing question, to be fair, Jim. I have done it in the past, about 5-6 years ago, when I was really keen on cycling still, and I haven't ridden for a long time now. I lost probably 4 stone during that time when we were all wearing masks and we couldn't leave the house. I really got into Zwift, which is a sort of interactive online cycle race thing. Joined a team and I was racing pretty much every day of the week. And I was watching what I was eating. You couldn't get food in those days, could you? You couldn't get toilet roll, couldn't get food. I think you all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, really, really fit, lost loads of weight, and then spent the next 5 years just putting it all back on, really. Why did I put it all back on? I'm not sure. I think, and I've always sort of said it, to lose weight using Slimming World, Weight Watchers, all that stuff, you're either in the zone or you're not in the zone. And I've just spent the last 5 years not in the zone. And that's why I needed to take Mounjaro, because this medication keeps me in the zone, and it feels, and as desperate as this may sound, it feels like that is the only time when I'm in the zone 7 days a week. I've spoken in my previous video about cheat days, so you know all about that and how they roll over to 1 cheat day, 2 cheat day, 3 cheat days. I just really struggle without it. But to answer your question, Jim, a little bit long-winded, I know. I am eating well. I've changed my diet, and yes, I can do it without Mounjaro. Certainly not as easy and as straightforward as it is taking Mounjaro. Whether I can maintain, let's watch the channel and see what happens in the future, shall we? Because I might be talking in 5 years' time saying, uh-oh, it's happened again. But it's a great question, Jim, and it's really quite thought-provoking for me to it's not something I often think about, but yeah, brilliant. Thanks, mate. Right, before we get into the next question, just wanted to say thanks for all your support on this channel. And I know I say it every week, but it's blown my mind how every single time I look at YouTube, the channel's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm getting more interactions, more likes, more comments. It was never the reason I started this channel, but it really is sort of inspiring me to make more videos, make better videos, inform more people, guide more people, help more people, and of course learn myself. Every time you ask a question, it gets me thinking about my journey. You ask that question, something ticks, I've got to start thinking about why I take it, how I take it, the benefits of taking it, and it's really, really good to have this interactive sort of community side to it. So thanks again for all your likes, subscribes and comments and hypes and all that sort of stuff. It really means the world. If you're not liking the videos, please do. If you're not subscribing to the channel, please do. At some point I am going to have to pivot the channel towards me maintaining, and that's when it's going to get interesting for you guys, I guess. I can't sit here every week saying I've taken Mounjaro and I've lost £2. That journey's got to not end, but it's got to pivot towards sort of maintaining. And yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting what the future's going to bring and how we're going to cope with that. So the gist of it all is just subscribe to the channel, and I really appreciate it. So next up we've got Chris Rushworth 9487, and they've asked, will the UK get compounding? Now my honest opinion is probably not, because I don't think in the UK they're going to want to release this into the public realm where it's more easily ready, it's more easy to get your hands on it, and there's less sort of legalization alongside these medications. So my thoughts is we're going to end up with just the GLP-1s, and obviously things are changing as we move on in time, because we're talking about tablets and there's talking about the next generation of injections which are going to have even stronger, what do you call it, even stronger chemicals in them to make the reactions better, to make less side effects. But as for compound GLP-1s, I think probably not in the UK. Your next question, Chris, was what's the best and worst parts of being on Mounjaro? How do you deal with the negative comments from friends and family? So the best parts are obviously feeling healthier, losing weight, getting compliments, and just general well-being. Going to the gym, looking in the mirror, because obviously gyms are covered in mirrors. It's just, yeah, I mean, when I was going to the gym 12 months ago, yeah, grim. It's just that feeling you get of being slimmer, healthier, more energized, I guess, as well. Worst parts, probably the cost. I think that for my last injection, I paid £163 in the UK, and that's for a month, so that's approximately £40 a week. And I am getting it reasonably cheap, really. So yeah, that would be the worst part. How do I deal with negative comments from friends and family? Never had a negative comment from family. I've had negative comments from friends, and I've had negative comments from work colleagues. Now, these negative comments are generally, and once again, I've done a video about it, so it's about people saying you're cheating. And I quite strongly believe that taking weight loss medication, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Zepbound, whatever you want to call it, Ozempic, is a tool, and it's a bloody good tool, and it's a bloody effective tool, and I will stand by that every day of the week, and I'll quite happily say that to anyone that says that to me. And I will point out that anyone on blood pressure tablets, it's a medication to keep someone alive. Anyone on any other medication, it's keeping them alive. Now, I wasn't in the position where I was necessarily going to die from being obese, but there's a lot of people whose lives this medication is saving, and I'll quite happily stand up and fight to get that point across to people. And I do get negative comments on my videos, and they're generally the same thing. So anyone that says negative to me, not anyone on the videos, because I tend to ignore that, anyone in the street or anyone I know that says it, I'll front up to them and say, no, this is the reason why it's good. This is the reason why it's good. Not a problem. All my family really, really supportive once I started it. There was a few family members that didn't want me to start it because they'd read stories online or they've seen the newspapers and seen negative stories. But I decided that this is what I needed to do. So that's how I deal with it. Thanks for your questions, Chris. Really appreciate it. And we'll get on to the next one. So we've got one from Dan Dare, Dan Dare 8225. Just started my Mounjaro journey. How do you deal with not feeling hungry? Do you still eat or leave it until you're ready? You get used to it, if I'm honest. It just becomes, I'm nearly 6 months into this journey now, and it just becomes the norm. And I was the kind of person that I was a greedy little boy. And for me now, I'm not hungry. It's a whole new world, and I'm really enjoying that feeling of not constantly thinking about food, the food noise, the appetite suppression's gone. And it's like a massive release for me. And I'm guessing there's going to be thousands of people who maybe watch this video and think, yeah, I'm exactly the same. And isn't it refreshing, everyone? It really is, isn't it? So what I tend to do is, and I've always been a massive advocate for this, is I track my calories. I know how many calories I need to eat in a day. If I'm not hungry, I make myself eat. I like the feeling of not being hungry, but I do make sure I eat my calories, and whether that's a meal replacement shake or some high protein stuff, I always make sure that I get the calories in. I'll be honest with you, Dan, you do get used to that feeling of not being hungry, and I think you'll find you really enjoy it if you're the same kind of person that I was. Next question is from Heidi Dombrowski 4753, and I hope I've said that right, and if I haven't, I do apologise. I think she's asked the question before because I recognise the name, but this is the 6th or 7th week I've been doing this Q&A. I didn't think I'd still be getting enough questions to keep doing this, but they keep coming in, and it's absolutely amazing. So if you do have a question for Saturday's Q&A video, pop it in the comments, mark it Q&A, and I'll get you on the next video. But Heidi says, my question is this: I've maintained my go weight for 3 months on 2.5 milligrams of Zepbound. That's absolutely amazing, Heidi, well done. My BMI's gone from 27 to 20.5, but I do not want to lose any more weight, but I'm terrified to stop taking the jab. The fear is real. Is there anyone who is experiencing this? And she's from New Jersey in the USA. I don't know, Heidi. I really don't know. You're way ahead of me in this game. You've done so well to maintain for 3 months. I can't even imagine how that feels. And it's an ongoing concern of mine how I'm going to maintain. My head's still buried in the sand. I'm going to cross that bridge when I get to it and all that kind of stuff. You've got to hope, and this is what I hope, that you learn the new habits that help you maintain. I don't know whether you're saying you're just fearful of stopping and you haven't actually tried stopping, or you're safe in the knowledge that you haven't learned those new habits. The other side of me is saying, well, if you're not still losing weight and you're maintaining, is there any harm to carry on taking it? Is that an option? I don't know what the situation is in the USA, whether you have to pay for it or whether your insurance pays for it. almost feels like, one, you need to be trying to practice with these new habits, and I don't want that to sound condescending anyway, because you've done amazing. The other side to me is saying, is there any harm in carrying on? Or is there maybe an idea to take your 2.5 milligrams of Zepbound every other week and see how you get on, and start stretching those doses out? I mean, they're just ideas that I'm putting out, and if anyone's got any better ideas, stick it in the comments down below, and hopefully Heidi will see it and we can sort of all guide her together. But like I do say, you are miles ahead of me on this journey, and I wish you well, and give us some feedback, let us know how you're getting on. Right, we've had a few questions from this chap in the past, and they're always really interesting. So this is Derek E6221. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the entire question out. It is long, but bear with me. So following on from last question and update, last weekend was good. So he was suffering with side effects, and his hunger noise is still quite bad. Also twice this week I've noticed some lightheadedness and a low blood sugar reading on my diabetes. This means I totally pigged out and ate whatever I could lay my hands on. Not good. He leaves house really early in the morning, has breakfast at 8. Feels he's at a bit of a crossroads where his diabetes is saying he's not eating enough, and Mounjaro is saying you need to up your dosage. He's 13 weeks in and his total weight loss is 10 pounds. Now, I'm taking the Mounjaro for weight loss, so my knowledge of diabetes is quite small. But what I have noticed from a lot of my comments, and this is going back over the last 5-6 months, where I've got nearly, I guess, I don't know, 80-90 videos now, is that people with diabetes, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because it's just me, the non-medical professional, chubby bloke sat on the end of his bed with a camera, a light and a microphone. They don't seem to lose weight as quick as people like myself who are taking it purely for weight loss. Now, I'm wondering if there's a relationship between the diabetes saying you're not eating enough and Mounjaro saying you need to up your dosage. My gut feeling, and I'm going to say it again, I'm not a doctor, is you've got to be listening to your diabetes, haven't you? Surely that's more compelling than listening to the Mounjaro, and controlling your diabetes is more important than the weight loss and a 10-pound loss. I mean, it's not a huge loss, but it's certainly not to be sniffed at, is it? So, Derek, speak to your medical professionals, but my gut feeling on this is listen to your diabetes. If you lost another 10 pounds in another 10-12 weeks, that's 20 pounds, and it's starting to compound, isn't it? So gut feeling, listen to your diabetes. Always enjoy your questions, Derek. They're always ones to get the brain going, aren't they? Right, so that's all the questions for this week, and I think that was 8 questions this week, which I think is the most we've ever done on this channel, isn't it? But they're all absolutely amazing, and I really enjoy doing it as well, because it does share all these issues, all these questions. It does share it with the rest of the community, and I know when I've asked the questions in the past, people have answered in the comments, and there's a conversation being had, and that's really important as part of this Mounjaro community and this journey that we're all on together, or the journey that you may be about to embark on. Don't ever be afraid to ask a question. There's no such thing as a stupid question, is there? As long as it's Mounjaro related. If you're going to start asking me general knowledge questions, probably not going to do that well. Might slip one in the future though. Right, so next we're on to our weekly update, aren't we?
Weekly update.
Travelled away for work again. Hotel, fried breakfast, evening meal, ended up with a pie and chips and chicken wings and all the stuff that I wouldn't normally eat. Lunch was provided at the event I was at, and yeah, just I really find it a struggle. I don't find it a struggle when I'm on holiday. I find it a struggle when I'm working away, and it doesn't happen a lot. I have got a day next week when I'm in Gloucester in the UK for a night, which is going to involve a hotel again. But I seem to be going for a bit of a purple patch at the moment where I'm away every now and then with work, and I really do struggle with the work side of it, which you would think it'd be the other way, that when I was on holiday I'd find it harder, but I don't. I find it harder when I'm away with work. So weighed yesterday morning, which was Friday, and bear in mind I've had 4 weeks the same weight, which is 17 stone 10, and I will put that up in pounds and kilograms just there for our European and American, Canadian watchers, as it were. So this week when I weighed yesterday, I weighed 17 stone and 9 pound. So I have lost the grand total of 1 pound in 4 weeks. Yeah, silence. I'll be honest, I'm okay with it. I'm being a little bit dramatic, but I am okay with it. I've done quite a bit in the last 4 weeks. I've been away a couple of times. I've been on holiday. I've been away with work again this week. I'm not putting on weight, am I? So I'm happy with that. I think going forward, I know I have updated to 5 milligrams. I did mention that in my last video, so I'm no longer Mr. 3.75 milligrams. I'm Mr. 5 milligrams now. It's made a big difference. It feels like stepping back in time to when I first started this journey with the food noise and the appetite suppression. And I do wish I did it earlier, but I'm not going to say that out loud, am I? Because my channel has always been about staying low on the doses. So yeah, I don't regret it. The last 4 weeks, 1 pound. You got to take that, haven't you? You can't not take it. So we'll see what happens next week, and of course next Saturday there'll be a weekly update and Q&A session again, assuming I get any questions. And I'll see you all on Wednesday when I've got another great video coming out, and I'm not going to tell you what that's about because I don't want to spoil it and someone else will steal my idea and do exactly the same video. Thanks a lot for watching this, and if you can, like and subscribe and hype and put your bell on and do all those cool things, it would really help me out. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Thanks very much then. Bye bye.